Building reports are often an essential part to the home buying process. What's going on, everybody? It's Blandon here again from Mortgage HQ, and in this video we're going to discuss three things. Firstly, in what situation would the bank want a building report? Secondly, why a building report may be a good investment in your next house purchase. And thirdly, what should you look for in a good building report? So in what situations do banks want a building report? Building reports are usually not a requirement by the banks when it comes to purchasing a house. However, there are three scenarios where the banks may ask for a building report. First being plaster homes, especially if they were built in the 2000s, where a lot of the timber frames during that era were not treated properly. So when you pair this average as timber with plaster that might stay damp for a period of time after a big rainy day, the timber is not going to last as long, causing what people call leaky homes. Now, the modern cladding system do focus on cladding that's more breathable to try and avoid this exact scenario. Now, there are some plaster homes with what we call cavity. This basically adds a gap between the timber and the cladding, which will reduce the chance of it being leaky significantly. And usually the moisture report will reflect this as well. So do keep in mind, a plaster home, the bank might want a building report as well as the moisture reading report. Second scenario the bank may ask for a building report is when the property may be in a poor condition or just look very, very old in the photos. The reason why they want a building report is firstly, they want to know whether or not the property is structurally sound. And secondly, they want to know if there are some work that needs to be done to put it at an acceptable state. So their bank might also ask for some building or renovations quotes on that particular property. This is going to help them to understand the exact cost that's going to be required for this particular property, so they can assess the situation better and be responsible with their lending. Now, the third scenario where a bank might ask for a building report is when you ask for a building report. No, you didn't hear wrong. Now, when you buy the property and you sign the sales and purchase agreement, on the first page there is a box for you to tick whether or not you want a building report. And if you have asked for a building report in your purchase, then the bank may also ask for a copy. This is because the bank wants to know what you may be concerned with about that property. And if you're worried, they're worried as well. So be sure and be prepared to have that report ready for them and give them a copy. So why do I think building reports are a great investment? It's important to note that it's not just a cost. It can also save you tons of money and a lot of headaches. Because sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. And I have seen many building reports where it showed structural and foundational issues. Now, in most cases, if there was an issue like that, the bank is not likely going to finance this property. Even it might only cost a little bit to fix this. And sometimes you may get lucky. It might be just a small quick fix and it won't cost you too much. But more often than not, you may open a whole new can of worms. So I've got a friend who does property trading as a profession. He had a deal where he needed to repile the property, basically just to fix the foundation of that particular property. When they lifted up the property, the whole house pretty much started cracking. So it jeopardized the whole structure of the house, and it ended up costing him more than 10 times what he anticipated. And that is why banks don't usually want to finance these. However, some banks might look at this if the equity or the cash position is really strong. So you got to be prepared that you're either buying with a very high equity position or you're just putting a lot of cash into the deal and expecting a lower loan to value ratio on that particular deal. Now, another major benefit with the building report is that it could save you thousands of dollars because it picked up a few things that needed to be fixed and you can negotiate with the vendor. And I've seen this happen so often. Clients are able to get that few grand of discount on the property because of this little thing that they might have picked up in the report. So a few $100s to save a few grand and have a peace of mind, definitely worth the money and a good investment if you're serious about the property. And lastly, what should you look for in a good building report? First thing is obviously that it should be easy to read in layman's terms. It is easy for you to identify where the major issues are. A format of a report that I quite like is Better Inspected Reports. They basically use a traffic light system, red, yellow, green, and they use this to rate the different parts of the house. So it's quite easy to sort of pick out what's good and what's not. I also really enjoy reading their free guide that is available on their website. I definitely recommend checking it out if you're sort of doing your own home purchase at the moment. I'll leave a link in the description below. Another important aspect that I think makes a great building report is, in my opinion, when it's solution-based. What does solution-based mean? Now, it is easy for the building inspector to identify issues, such as roof rust. And it's very easy for them to leave a comment that says something like, there are very visible roof rust and further investigation is recommended. So that doesn't tell me too much. They might just have taken a picture. A solution-based report might read something like, there are very visible roof rust due to its age. Replacement is likely required in the next 12 to 24 months. Estimated cost to replace the same kind of material, in our professional opinion, may be in the range of $15,000 to $25,000 plus labor cost. However, for the most accurate cost estimation, please seek your own builder or roofer. Referral can be made if required. Now, this is what I call a solution-based report. Not only have they identified the problem, they have quantified the risk, and there are clear next steps to solve the problem. So there you have it. Hopefully there was something in there that you've learned, and if there was, please smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. We really appreciate it. It's going to help out our channel. And so again, in summary, building report is not a requirement by the banks, but they may ask for this. And 3 typical scenarios are: 1, when it's a plaster home, and they probably want a moisture reading report as well. Second scenario is when it's much older and it needs a bit of work. And thirdly, if you ask for a building report in your sales and purchase, they're more likely to ask for a building report as well. Building reports will often save you money than just costing you. It's going to put you in a safer position and allow you to negotiate with the vendor for a better price if issues are identified. And thirdly, good building report should be solution-based. Now, if you need a guide through a house buying process, then a mortgage advisor is perfect for the job. If you want to use a Mortgage HQ advisor on your next home purchase, you can easily reach out by going to mhq.co.nz and fill out a mortgage snapshot, and one of our team will be in touch. Until next video, I'll see you guys again.